Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome to Karpo Gaming and another Borderlands 3 video. Gearbox has put out another tweet today, and yes, we have an official hotfix that's going live today before 3 p.m. that's going to address some player character passive abilities, gear balances, and quality of life issues. So, as always, I'll be leaving a link down below so you can check out this news article yourself. And as well as I'll be time-stepping it so you can hop right into the section that you want to. Now, like I said earlier, this week Borderlands 3 hotfixes will be live on all platforms before 3 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and it might be just live for you right now. Now, we're watching the character builds that players are creating and are looking through all the different gear available to make sure that there is something for everyone. They said this week and in the coming weeks, there will be further adjustments to gear with the hopes of creating even more build types. Our goal is to adjust some of the less used legendary gear to bring them to the same level as some of the other popular options. In addition, we are addressing reported bugs and are hard at working to continue to address other performance concerns. Thank you so much for your feedback. Now for the Vault Hunter adjustments. For Amara, we've addressed the concern that Alot was only rewarding players 1 point worth of bonuses even if the player put in more than 1 point. In addition, we wanted phase graphs to be more accessible to all weapon types and playstyles, so we doubled the range to grasp an enemy. Putting points into Electricity now awards a reload speed bonus per rank. Phase graphs can now be used on targets further away, and the cooldown is now instantly returned if a player misses. For modes, the Bloodletter class mod was creating some overwhelming synergies for modes, so we increased the delay and decreased the recharge rate of the shield to compensate. This should help encourage the intended use of this class mod, which is to heal shields manually, not automatically. Means of destruction, shears, trigger, delay was adjusted again because the change limit of the builds beyond certain infinite grenades. The infinite grenade bug will be addressed in a future pack, but we wanted to enable other builds that use means of destruction, so we dramatically reduced the re-trigger delay to a reasonable number. So the Bloodletter class mod increases the range delay by 150%, reduces the recharge rate by 50%, and also address a reported bug with the close the distance, so the action skill augment will now deal the intended shock damage. Means of destruction now has a re-trigger delay of 0.3 seconds. Now for flak. The Leave No Trace change last week to flak was to forcefully inject the functionality of a cooldown into the ability. However, the value that was added was never the intended value. We dramatically lowered it to retain the promise of the ability, but with a cooldown that still allows players to gain ammo without dramatically removing a core aspects of the weapon's gameplay loop. So, Leave No Trace now has a re-trigger delay set to 0.3 seconds. Now for Zane. Zane, Death Follows Close, will correctly update several kill skills after unlocking this ability. Now for weapon hotfixes. The last projectile tick damage is now 60% of the base damage, up from 20%, and projectile speed decelerate faster to increase chances of hitting the same target multiple times. Creeping death damage increased by 200%. So there's those buffs I was talking about. It's always good to keep weapons in your vault, even if they're not good, because you never know when they're going to get a buff. So, next up, carrier damage increased by 60%. Gun range damage increased by 20%. That's cool, it's already a good gun. All sniper rifle zoom levels have been slightly reduced. Long scopes on Jacob's Children of the Vault and all assault rifles have also been slightly reduced. Now for the anointed parts. When Zane swapped positions with his digiclone, the damage gain is increased to 130%, up from 75%. When flak hits a target with racks, the target now takes 100% increased damage, up from 50%. Nice. The anointed part increased damage versus badass no longer heals the player, and now correctly add bonus damage to badass enemies. And last but not least, under bug fixes. Pain, Terror, and Agonizer 9000 has been adjusted to have an increased chance to drop higher quality loot. Address the reported bug with Dynasty Diner that could potentially halt mission progress for some players. Address the reported concern that some players fell through the floors in various boss arenas. And last but not least, modify enemy spawn levels discrepancies reported in the latter parts of the campaign. We noticed that some enemies were spawning at lower levels than expected in the later parts in the campaigns. Players should no longer see enemies that are dramatically lower levels than other nearby enemies in certain areas. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Quite a few stuff for this hotfix. A lot of buffs, which is always a good thing. Have some quality of life, and also, man, those buffs on the weapons always a good thing. So yeah, that's pretty much going to end it for the video, ladies and gentlemen. As always, if you are new to the channel, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe. And hey, if you really want to help out the channel and the video, you can do so by liking the video if you indeed like the video. Don't forget, I upload daily Borderlands 3 videos, so turn on that bell notification and stay up to date for more Borderlands 3 videos. And as always, I'll be seeing y'all in the next one. Later.